welcome to the Squirrel Heed YouTube channel, and I'm going to go through all of the positions that we have: goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards, and basically go through who is going to make it into the 25-man squad. We've got a 29-man squad over in France at the moment, but obviously we've got a couple of international people missing who obviously played in the World Cup quite deep, being I think Jordan Henderson, Mignolet, even though I don't think he played very much, if at all, for Belgium, and obviously Lovren, who made it to the final as well. So I'm going to go through it. Basically, I wanted to do this because I believe that our signings, incomings, are over. I think that's it. I think that we've made our signings, and I don't think we're going to have any more coming in. There are rumours flying about Twitter that, you know, Fekir is going to be done today, could be done tomorrow. I'm not interested. Not interested. I'm well over Fekir coming to Liverpool. You know, there's obviously been rumours about Pulisic as well, or Pulisic, however you say his name, and that we could possibly do a deal like we did with Keita, in that we could say seal the deal this year, but he doesn't arrive until next year. Again, not interested. If it's not something that's going to be nailed on for coming in this window, honestly, not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. I'm happy with this window. I'm happier with this window than I've been with any window in recent times. Like, we've had some good windows, but this has been a brilliant window in my opinion. People say that, like, you know, we haven't replaced Philippe Coutinho. You can't ever do a like-for-like replacement of a player that left, and to be honest, we did alright without him. We did well without Phil Coutinho, and I'm certainly not slagging off Coutinho at all. He was brilliant for us, but we've done well without him, and I think that the players that we've brought in have done more than enough to prove that maybe we don't actually, you know, we're going to have to see how the season goes, obviously, but going out there and saying we need to go and get a Coutinho replacement, I think that the players we've brought in midfield, especially Keita, Fabinho, Shaqiri, who can obviously play as a midfield or in the top end of that midfield. Sorry, I just said midfield, didn't I? He can obviously play on the wings, or he can play anywhere across that front three, or he could play as a number 10 as well. I think we saw a little glimpse of what he could do against Man United on the pre-season game, of what he can bring when he's allowed to roam. I think that's, I've got no issues with it. I know people really are wanting Fekir, you know, that he's got... He is a quality player, but there's obviously a reason that we haven't brought him in. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that you can do about it either. You can complain about it, but that's all you can do. So anyway, let's get into this and go through the players that we've got in each position. So starting off with the goalkeepers, I'm going to go from the strongest goalkeeper all the way down to the, you know, the youth goalkeepers as well. So obviously we've brought in Alisson, who is expected and will be taking the number 1, not necessarily the jersey, but he will be the number 1 goalkeeper. Now after that you've got Karius and Mignolet. Now Mignolet isn't in this 29-man squad for the France training camp that they're doing at the moment. He's still got some time off because of his Belgium duties. Then you've got Kelleher and Grabara, however you say his name anyway, the two younger goalkeepers who had 45 minutes each against Manchester United. You know, I like the confidence of Kelleher, and I firmly actually believe now, because obviously there's rumours going around that Karius and Mignolet could both go in this window, which people would look at like they would be happy for Karius to go and Mignolet to stay. They wouldn't necessarily be happy if Mignolet went and Karius stayed. Now if both of them go, does that create a problem for Liverpool? Some people might say no. I would say you've got to have a lot of faith in the youth players to be able to do something like that. I have complete faith in Jurgen Klopp and the decisions that he makes. I have complete faith in them. Everything that he looks to have done that looks like it's going to be a gamble, selling Coutinho mid-season, looked like that was going to be a hell of a gamble, but in some ways it paid off. It paid off. If we hadn't have hit top 4, and obviously we didn't win the Champions League final, but the fact that we got to the final against all odds, against everybody saying that we wouldn't do it, if we hadn't hit top 4 though, that would have been laid squarely at selling Coutinho. It would have been. Now, a lot of people don't talk about Coutinho a great deal, apart from saying maybe we need to get a replacement for Coutinho. Anyway, I'm going off topic here. The goalkeeping situation, in my opinion, will either be, obviously, Alisson as number 1, Karius as number 2, Mignolet gets sold, and the younger guys stay with the youth squads a little bit, maybe called up here and there for maybe a cup game or something like that. But I imagine that it will stay as Alisson as number 1, Karius as number 2. Now, if Karius and Mignolet get sold, then Kelleher will be number 2, Grabara will be number 3. I don't think that we will buy another goalkeeper. Let me know what you think of that situation in the comments below. Now, starting off with the centre-backs, we're going to go through the defence. Obviously, we've got Virgil van Dijk, Klavan, we've got Gomez as well, Matip and Phillips. So they obviously we don't have Lovren yet. He's not going to be coming back until I think 5 days before the season starts. Then on our right backs and left backs, obviously we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold and Klein for the right position, and I've also put Camacho there as well. Camacho is listed of being part of the midfield, part of the forward section on the Liverpool FC website where I got this list from. However, he played that game against Manchester United as a right back, and Jurgen Klopp has said that he could be a right back option for Liverpool in this coming season, and I thought he played really, really well. The guy is rapid as hell. Obviously, we won't know what his defensive capabilities are fully until he actually gets, tested in a game. But I thought he flew up and down that wing really, really well. He was so fast, it was ridiculous. It was like he was travelling at Mane, Salah sort of speed. It was awesome to see. And his balls into the box were brilliant as well. They just didn't have the end product on it to get on the end of it. Maybe, yeah. Look, the lad's a young lad. He's going to learn to get those balls into the players properly in the right positions, but he was trying and he was threatening. He could be used as a right back option, and that right hand side looks very, very strong. Klein, Trent Alexander-Arnold. For me, Alexander-Arnold is the starter over Klein, because Alexander-Arnold had a brilliant season last season, and I think he just offers that little bit more in terms of not only defence, but also in terms of his end product at the other end of the field as well. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. And then on the left-hand side, as I've got it listed at the moment, it's Robertson and Moreno. Obviously, Milner could play there if need be, but I think we've got enough cover in those two guys there. Now we're going to come on to the midfield, and we're going to start with Naby Keita. We've got Fabinho, Milner, Grujic, Lallana, Wijnaldum and Jones. Remember that all of these players are the players that are over in France at the moment as part of the training camp, so I've not just purposely missed out Henderson or anything like that. We have a strong midfield, whether it's going to be a starting midfield and people on the bench as well. If you've got Henderson starting, you've got Fabinho on the bench. Depending on your formations that you go with as well. If you want to play with two CDMs, then you've got great options having Henderson and Fabinho playing together. Or if you play with one, which most likely I think we will do, then you've got Henderson there as captain and Fabinho can come on, and vice versa. That is strong. Then you've obviously got Keita, the likes of Milner, Grujic. Grujic may still go out on loan, he may go to another club, but at the moment he's still with Liverpool, and for what he's shown in pre-season, I'm pretty happy if he does stay and he becomes another, a quality young midfielder for us. Lallana has been a bit slow for me in pre-season, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people have been saying that they're impressed with Lallana in pre-season, and I haven't been. I just haven't been at the moment. Whether he's been played in out of position or he's just literally not up to speed yet, I'm yet to see. His training videos look great. The training videos that Liverpool, put out look great, where he's doing like back heels and stuff like that and sweeping the ball behind him and passing it to someone else. That's great. But when it comes to a match situation at the moment in pre-season, I've looked at Lallana as being a missing link. Not a missing link, sort of like one of our weakest links. And that's not a good thing in my opinion. With him coming up to 30, if he's not 30 already, I don't know. I think that he could struggle to get into the team. And I like the guy. When he's on form, he's brilliant. But when he's not, it's really telling. So that's just my opinion on Lallana right there. And then we've got Wijnaldum and Jones. Curtis Jones, I'd love to see him get some more time. Obviously, we played Napoli at the weekend, I think. Carlo Ancelotti's Napoli. I'd love to see him get some more minutes. And Wijnaldum, it's great to see that Wijnaldum's back with the team as well. That is really, really good to see. And then we're going to come on to the forwards, and we've got Sturridge, Danny Ings, which surprised me because he didn't go out to America, because I think we were on the verge of selling him to Crystal Palace or something. Don't know what's happening with that, to be honest. Divock Origi, Solanke, Shaqiri, Firmino, Mane and Salah. Shaqiri gets listed as a midfielder. I'd put him down as a forward just because I think he will be playing predominantly in a forward position or indeed in a number 10 position. I think that when I go through that list, that's 29 players I've gone through there. That is 29 players I've gone through there. I think that we are strong in every position. Now obviously we've got to try and whittle that one down to 25 for a Premier League squad, 25-man squad. So if I'm going to look at that, obviously no team goes in with 4 goalkeepers. So what would probably happen, depending on, regardless of what happens, you're going to go with 2 goalkeepers in my opinion. Maybe 3 at a push, but generally 2. So my 2, I think that Karius and Mignolet will end up moving on. Not that I'm wanting both of them to move on. I think it could be a mistake to do that, but I'm going to go devil's advocate and say that they will both be moved on. And I think our goalkeepers will be Alisson and Kelleher, which takes us down to 27. So that takes us, I've got to take 2 players and move them about. Now what will probably happen, and I'm looking more at your midfield options here, Grujic and Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones could be kept around, but I'm not entirely sure that he will be. So those 2 there, Grujic and Jones. Grujic is most likely going to go out on loan. Cardiff have been the ones that have been the front runners looking at him, and that was where he was at last season, I believe, and he had a good season with them. So those 2 would come out, which would take us down to 25 in total. However, we've still got Henderson and Lovren to come back, which takes us back up to 27 players. So there's still got to be 2 other players that are moved. Now what you're going to look at here, or what I'm looking at here anyway, Danny Ings and Divock Origi. I don't think these guys are going to be with Liverpool when it comes to the start of the season. Now, don't get me wrong. Danny Ings, I like Danny Ings as a person, as a guy. He's a great guy, I think. And he could have been a good player if it wasn't for injuries and everything like that. He's been really unfortunate in my opinion. Divock Origi, just don't think he's the quality that we need. And I think that Divock Origi is a quality player, not in our system. Not in the way that we play. Everything has to be fast and flowing and very technical when it comes to our forward play. He stops that at the moment, and he's still a young lad. I think he's only 22, maybe 21, 22. He's still a young lad. He's got plenty of time to develop if he really applies himself and gets himself into the right team, the right system. That is what he needs. But he went on loan to Wolfsburg, and I don't think he really lit that team alight either. I think they really struggled. Did they get relegated? I honestly can't remember. I'm just, I'm thinking thoughts as I'm saying thoughts as I think of them. So I'm not entirely sure what would happen there, but that would take us down. I think that would, with Henderson and Lovren back in the team, and those 2 out, Danny Ings and Divock Origi, that would be our 25-man squad. So let's read through and go through who I think it would be. So Alisson and Kelleher, goalkeepers. Obviously, defence I don't think I changed at all, which is Van Dijk, Klavan, Gomez, Matip, Phillips. Phillips, again, maybe. It might not make it through, but you never know. Stranger things have happened under Jurgen Klopp, but I'm going to run with it for now. Phillips, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Klein, Camacho, Robertson, Moreno, midfield, Keita, Fabinho, Milner, Lallana, Wijnaldum and Henderson. Sorry, I missed out in defence, Lovren as well. And then forwards would be Sturridge, Solanke, Shaqiri, Firmino, Mane and Salah. That should come out at 25. I did not count on my way through, but I took out all the players that we won't have. Obviously not Mignolet as well, because I haven't included him. I think they will get moved on. So, are you happy with that being as close as it could be to our 25-man squad this season? And what changes would you make? Would you be concerned with the goalkeeping situation if both Karius and Mignolet are sold on? And would you be happy with one of the younger guys, Kelleher or Grabara? Would you be happy with one of those guys being the backup goalie to Alisson? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any other changes that you would make, get them in the comments below. We can have a discussion about it. I like doing that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you do like it. And if you do, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you ever so much for watching as always, and I will catch you later.